Good morning today, 5th September 2024. We are going to discuss editorials of The Hindu. First article here, subclassification verdict. Recently, there was a verdict from Supreme Court for internal subcategorization in the SC category. So, this subcategorization, when we consider with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's ideals, so how it qualifies, regarding that article has been written. Supreme Court of India on 1st August 2024 in the case State of Punjab ORS versus Devendra Singh and ORS, they gave judgment on subclassification of reservation. This embodies the vision of social jurisprudence. It is very noteworthy development in India's consideration, especially if you consider in the social justice sector. Judgment provides social justice using constitutional methods, and even this judgment ensures social justice reaches to most neglected and deprived sections, so-called Dalit sections among the Dalits. The idea of subclassification, this aligns with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar principle of fraternity, even Maitri also. This emphasizes need for cooperation, mutual respect among scheduled castes. But this exercise by judgment, this reflected comments of the Varna system, even the creamy layer, this is uncalled for. What is Varna system? Hindu community have been divided into 4 types, that is called Varna system: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras. So basically the so-called SC/ST comes under bottom of the ladder, and then this is uncalled for. Whatever judgment has given, this again discriminates people based on their religion. What about the social justice? How Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had struggled? If we consider B.R. Ambedkar, he had struggled all his life only to ensure social justice, even civil justice for most oppressed sections from Indian society. He also sought to secure separate cultural right for former untouchables. But these were often met with inadequate responses, resistance from prevailing Hindu caste order at that time. While it reflects India's social structure, Ambedkar highlights how every jati means caste basically, occupies a distinct position on the social ladder. So it draws attention to nuances in the internal division within the caste order. If you see Hindu community divided based on Varna system. Even in the Varna system also, if you see ST, there are many internal communities are there. SC, there are many internal communities are there. Even OC also, if you go caste by caste, there are many internal communities. Those communities that occupy ladder based on their caste status. Newspaper during Ambedkar time, they gave welcome address by 3 scheduled castes organization regarding resolutions were disposed of scheduled caste conference that was held at Kanpur in Jan 31, 1944. Ambedkar told to scheduled caste organization that they must realize their responsibility to wipe out internal division among scheduled castes, where they demanded for removal of untouchability. Basically, during that meeting in 1944, Ambedkar told all scheduled castes and those organizations to wipe out whatever division, internal division is there. Then only that untouchability can be removed, and then unity should be brought it out. Even Ambedkar contributed more to social justice. This goes beyond the theoretical exercise. Just telling, he literally practiced his practical measures to dismantle this caste hierarchy. That has been very remarkable. He led several movements. One such movement was Mahad Satyagraha, Kalaram temple entry movement. Those things highlighted ritual discrimination faced by Dalits. If you see in Kerala also, there were temple entry movements were there. During temple entry movements, people were not allowed inside the temples, and such a kind of injustice and discrimination was carried out against Dalit communities. Such efforts were taken by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar practically. Despite all such efforts, Brahmanical forces during that time, they undermined B.R. Ambedkar quest for just society. But amid such challenges, B.R. Ambedkar's perseverance in fighting for social justice in hierarchical society that illustrates his deep commitment towards the society and then to bring social justice to oppressed sections of Indian community. In a media interview, Sahu Patole, he wrote a book called Dalit Food in Marathwada. He told that different jatis experience varying degrees of discrimination. He told his experience in the village, Mang was considered as the lowest, above them Mahars. Suppose say in SC community itself, in Maharashtra, if you see Marathwada, so there was one community Mang that is lower than Mahars. Mang and Mahars, they deemed untouchable by Chamars, and even rest of the village did not touch these communities. This kind of thing even tells the existence of graded inequality, which B.R. Ambedkar didn't want. Even he didn't want to society to treat them, because the Dalit community, if they themselves had this kind of discrimination, then it becomes easy for others to do such a social injustice. Precisely, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar didn't want these things. These things suggest that need for more nuanced approach for social justice. Even a recent court subclassification judgment, this addresses little bit partly why those who have obtained reservations in terms of job, even employment, there are certain communities who are yet to obtain such a reservation. So this may help basically those communities who are not seeking the reservations. This judgment can be seen from Ambedkar's social justice ideals. It even underlies the existence of different lived realities of numerous jatis that experience level of deprivation and discrimination. Thus, the recent judgment, this aims to mitigate the inequality within SC community by addressing such heterogeneity. This is precisely where judgment demonstrates the idea of social jurisprudence to the core. It takes into account different sociological realities of every jati. What is the criticism within from the judgment? Even though it has still fully implemented in various states, the subclassification decision has drawn criticism from some Dalit communities, especially leaders, those who are leading segments of Dalit, they feel their political power can diminish. The fear results from basically there is an assumption this subclassification of judgment might fragment the Dalit constituency and weaken the collective Dalit movement. Dalit community who collectively fight for their rights, now the fragmentation happens. So they are afraid of when that fragmentation happens, that collective will may go off. Even, however, this argument by leading segment among Dalit, this considers even discounts Ambedkarite consciousness of various shades of Dalit politics. In this context, 30 years of Madiga Dandora movement, this is from Andhra Pradesh. These 30 years, they are misinterpreted as being detached from the sphere of Ambedkarite consciousness. Even the movements and mobilization of the Mang caste in Maharashtra, they have Ambedkar picture alongside that of the Lokasher, Annabahu Sahete, among other leaders. This basically what it tells them, every caste issue may be different when they deal with other castes, but they are unified in larger Ambedkarite idea of social justice. Bharat Bandh called by specific Dalit organization in North India, this was a misstep that could affect collective identity and mobilization of the Dalit castes. While this subclassification debate in North India faces a lot of criticism, the situation is a bit different from South India. There in South India, this discussion about subclassification among Dalit has largely been resolved, even with most Dalit organizations supporting demand for subcategorization among SCs. The criticism from North Indian Dalit organization, this reflects misunderstanding of the existing social structures among the Dalits. North Indian Dalit organization, they argue judgment might create divisions within the Dalit movement. So when that judgment creates a division, that collective fight may go off. That is, they are mainly afraid of. Supporting this subclassification movement, embracing its potential benefits for enhancing social justice politics at Jati level, These things would be a mature approach. More importantly, sub-classification could strengthen the collective identity of SC community. They even furthering Ambedkarization of process by including those on the margins. Even this subclassification align with the principle of equitable representation articulated by leaders such as Manyavar Kanshiram. He advocated for जिसकी जितनी संख्या भारी उसकी उतनी हिस्सेदारी. This is the idea of representation based on the numerical strength. If you have lot number of people, then you have the good representation. Remember this name, Manyavar Kanshiram. What is the reflection of long struggle and realities? The leading segment among SC community, they must avoid demeaning the relentless struggles of marginalized communities such as Valmikis, Musahars in North India, even Madigas and Arunatiyars in South. This is because judgment is not imposition from above but reflection of years of grassroots activism, even demand for subcategorization. South India is kind of set in, but North India, they have to calculate the missteps and miswrongs, and then they have to collectively come forward, then welcome the judgment. It is even a testament to ongoing struggle for justice led by organizations such as Madiga Reservation Porata Samiti, MRPS, conferences of Mang community in Maharashtra, even Valmiki movements in North India also. There is much concern about its execution, though history also tells us about success of sub-classification models in Punjab, Haryana before Chinnaya judgment in 2004. This Chinnaya judgment, this is example of how such sub-classification can work in practice. Despite criticism from some quarters, it is highly essential to recognize that judgment is grounded in historical struggle for equitable representation and justice. The judge's affirmation was essential. It was even established SC category is not homogeneous but consists of distinct jatis with varying needs and challenges. The trajectory of jatis, this goes beyond the idea of caste essentialism. Their behavior also in response to other jatis. On the other hand, this recognition of the sociological fact SC community represents union of jatis within their structures is a significant step towards addressing nuanced needs of each group. The assumption SC is one homogeneous group fails in the face of prohibitions on intermarriage even within the community. These are hard sociological facts that one must do not deny as these things. Finally, these challenges remain about accepting the judgment. It is highly essential to recognize its potential to enhance social justice to the core, even to promote equitable representation of all Dalit castes. Embracing this judgment with the spirit of fraternity, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar envisioned, this will be crucial in achieving more just and inclusive society that will ultimately lead to democratization of the reservation system. While we need to uphold Dalit civility, addressing creamy layer issue within due seriousness, the collective Ambedkarite movement, this must also prevent political parties from exploiting this judgment for their gains. In addition, the movement should broaden its focus beyond traditional reservation policies. Key initiatives should include advocating the extension of reservation policies to private sector, even pursuing land redistribution also. These tips are very crucial in advancing representation and securing material benefits for all Dalit communities. This is about sub-classification verdict article. Next article, we will discuss about health outcomes in states and what is the gap that we are presently facing. In order to realize full potential of allocation of the budget for health sector, there are several state parameters are there that we need to consider. Many of these allocations are in the centrally sponsored schemes when it comes to states. In these centrally sponsored schemes, state not only share a substantial part of the cost but also responsible for their implementation. Central government may provide funds that to ratio 60-40 in that ratio. However, the responsibility lies with state government. Why? Health is a state subject. This fiscal space and operational frameworks at state, they have strong bearing on the efficiency of the budget allocation of such schemes. If we see currently two major centrally sponsored initiatives, they are being pursued by central government to strengthen physical health infrastructure in states. Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission PM ABHIM, Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, Human Resource for Health and Medical Education HRHME. Even first is aimed at building health and wellness center, developing block level health units, having integrated district public health laboratories. They are critical care hospital blocks in each district. The goal is to improve India's preparedness for future emergencies such as pandemics. COVID-19, a blessing in disguise, it just exposed India's health sector, and then slowly India is building its infrastructure in the hospital sector. Second initiative, this is about strive to scale up medical personnel by establishing new medical, nursing, paramedical colleges, also increasing seats in the colleges. Another important aspect to strengthen and upgrade district hospital and then attach them to newly established medical colleges at district level. The next issue comes out, low fund utilization. Estimates on central expenditure on this initiative in the last three budgets that indicate low performance of fund absorption. In Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat scheme, the ratio of actual expenditure to budget estimates of centrally sponsored component was only around just 29%. Suppose 100 rupees was allocated, only 29 rupees spent. So you can understand how grossly it has been utilized. In 23-24, the revised estimate was about 50% of the budget estimate, but it is expected to be lower in actuals. Even HRHME2, the utilization of funds was only 25% of the budget estimate, both for 22-23, 23-24. Interestingly, due to this low utilization, budget allocation for Ayushman Bharat and then human resource health management, this HRHME, they have been slashed in full budget when compared to interim budget. There could be several factors behind low utilization of funds under this Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat. So first thing, this Ayushman Bharat Health Wellness Center, this component, around 60% of the resource envelope was sourced through health grants recommended by 15th Finance Commission as in the scheme's operational guidelines. So 60% of the fund will come as per 15th Finance Commission guidelines. In a recent study by National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, they indicate that only around 45% of the 15th Finance Commission health grants were utilized in the period 21-22, 23-24. Discussion with state government official, it tells complex execution structures, these grants posed hurdles in its realization. Even utilization also, there are several complicated processes are there. Even states can also difficult to follow. Second thing, the component of integrated public health centers, states are required to integrate public health laboratories under different vertical programs to avoid duplications. This requires extensive reorganization of the existing implementation structures at state level, even requiring significant planning, streamlining, coordinated efforts. Third thing, all components, including BPHUs and CCHUs, they involve constructions where fund absorption is often delayed by rigid procedures. Overlap of funding from multiple sources, certain scheme components with similar activities, this has created an additional layer of complexity. Even if you see another area, faculty shortage. Under Human Resource Health and Wellness Center HRHME, if the allocation of physical infrastructure were better utilized, filling the sanctioned teaching faculty positions could have been challenging. If you see a study by Center for Science and Economic Progress, there is shortage of over 40% teaching faculty positions in 11 out of 18 newly created All India Institute of Medical Sciences in the country. It is even more alarming in state government medical colleges in empowered action group states. As per Center for Social and Economic Progress study, Uttar Pradesh, if you see, 17 government medical colleges were set up between 1921. 30% of the teaching faculty positions were vacant for 2022. The shortage of specialists could affect the task of setting medical colleges, even upgrading district hospital to medical colleges. The challenge also extends to CCHBs under Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat, whose guidelines on staffing norms include specialist. So without specialist, you cannot provide or include government hospital. As in rural health statistics in 21-22, more than third of the sanctioned position of the specialist in urban community health centers, even 2/3 of the rural community health center were vacant. See, rural and urban both are facing faculty shortage. Physical space in states. State government will have to bear recurring cost in maintaining physical infrastructure built under Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat, even HRHME. This necessitates additional financial commitment. Union government support for human resources, only a duration of the Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat scheme, that is up to 25-26. The ability of the states to plan and support recurring expenses beyond this period is very vital for productivity of the incurred capital expenditure. States need to create physical space that required to support these initiatives in addition to contributing to other centrally sponsored schemes and other state health schemes. In totality, transforming capital expenditure allocations into effective health outcomes, this will depend on several critical factors. Fiscal capacity of the states to meet additional recurring expenditures, addressing underlying structural causes of human resource shortages, improving public financial management process for executing schemes and grants. These things need to be well taken care of. These elements, they are very crucial in ensuring budgetary allocation for capital expenditure. This will lead to be very highly productive outcomes. This article is about capital punishment for rape. This article we will discuss in detail. There is a huge demand from population that death penalty for every heinous sexual crime, even governments yielding to try it by issuing ordinance and bills. Recently, if you see, West Bengal government, they unanimously passed Aparajita Women and Child Bill 2024 by voice vote. Following the rape and murder of doctor at government hospital in Kolkata on August 9, even persistent clamor for justice happened across the country. It has got a lot of support from across the country. The rape is not new issue in India. Several times brutal attack against women happened. 2013, we have seen a brutal rape of women in Delhi, we called Nirbhaya case. This shooken the conscience of the country. Subsequently, states including Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Arunachal Pradesh, they have sought amendment for enhanced punishment for sexual assault. The present bill by Kolkata government, this introduces death penalty or lifelong imprisonment for rape by amending relevant sections of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. This is the new penal code. In fact, death has been sought to capital punishment can be prescribed for 5 offences. First thing, rape. Second thing, rape by police officer or public servant. Third thing, rape causing death or sending victim to persistent vegetative state. Fourth thing, gang rape. And fifth thing, being a repeated offender. If anyone falls under this category, they can be given capital punishment. This present bill, it aims to amend Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. This will provide special courts to try such offences in time-bound manner. Even Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, POSCO Act. This will provide death in cases of penetrative sexual assault and it's in its aggravated form. The President assent will be required for state to amendments. There is a little evidence awarding death penalty is a deterrent against sexual offences. But the call for more stringent law after such crimes have been evoked public response. Even governments have been failing to bring an effective law in order to curb the rape kind of related cases. Several states we have seen, they have launched several bills. However, these bills or acts fail to create deterrence against the people. So the attack against women are happening. They are not yielding correct solutions. by stating that rape is a curse against humanity and social reforms are required to prevent such crimes. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, she told about question mark the need for bill that leans against legal sanction rather than seeking change in societal mindset. That is how, if we go any state, if any rape or anything happens, they come up with one bill, fancy bill. They will put up all the clauses and then they will tell like our work has been done. We won't do anything. Rest will be like up to the people to decide. We did our part. That is not happening. Even societal mindset also not changing. We need to give the collective conscience. We need to change the correct order in order to bring in the society. Even Justice J.S. Verma committee, they said that they even declined to recommend death penalty for rape even after rarest of rare cases. What do you mean by rarest of rare cases? Those cases that will involve heinous crimes that you might have never seen, those kind of cases have been termed as rarest of rare cases. J.S. Verma committee, while declining capital punishment to rape, they told this giving death penalty, this would be a regressive step in the field of sentencing and reformation. Why do you first thing will be put up in jail? Basically, jails are for sentence, even reformation also, so that your mind will change and then you will come back to the society and you will live as a normal being. However, people are becoming cruel and animals when it comes to women. That should be prevented. Death penalty that was introduced subsequently for rape of girls under 12, even gang rape of those under 18. But women, they are far from feeling safer. It is also tragedy. The cruel death in Bengal, this become political slugfest between center and the state government. State government, they have to do many things. Law and order is in their control, so they have to control all such things. The ownership is on every government to ensure laws are implemented very effectively. Police work without bias to prevent and punish sexual assaults. Justice will be better served if barriers to women advancements are removed by making workplaces and homes safe for them. This is about third article. So today we discussed 3 articles. Thank you very much for discussion.